Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sitting here enjoying my coffee, day after Thanksgiving. I didn't get to cook Thanksgiving dinner this year. It's been that I've been doing that tradition for 20 plus years. But my daughter had other plans and went to Disney with my grandkids and her mother-in-law. So I'm just here doing what I do. So it's the day after Thanksgiving. I'll probably go today because guess what, guys? Turkey breasts and turkeys themselves will be on sale here in the next couple days because the stores have overloaded and they're going to get rid of them. So I'm going to go buy me a turkey breast and I'm going to be smoking that. That'll be on a later recipe, but and it'll be a lot cheaper than it was before Thanksgiving. So anyway, today though is sitting here thinking, you know, I'm gonna make some sausage gravy and biscuits. Now, the biscuit part, that'll be in another recipe. I'm not gonna try to throw all that together in one. So today I just have the ready-made biscuits that I'll have to just put in the oven. But, you know, sausage gravy is definitely a Southern dish. And man, when I used to visit down here all the time, I really wanted to always order sausage gravy from somewhere. So today I'm going to make it, and you got to excuse me because I don't have a cast iron pan. Everybody that in the South knows that you make it in a cast iron pan, so I don't want to see the comments coming in. I do not have a cast iron pan. I have carbon steel, but that doesn't act the same as a cast iron pan. So let's get to the recipe. So in today's recipe here, we are going to, let me zoom this back here a little bit. We're going to simple things: milk, sausage. I have in my recipe, I use evaporated milk. It makes it super creamy. Flour, salt and pepper, and of course my biscuits. This is a very simple recipe. You can spice it up with some red pepper flake if you didn't get hot sausage, or you can put some cayenne pepper in it. There's basically anything you can do to it. You can add some honey to it. There's whatever you want to do to it. I make it the plain old way, but I use evaporated milk instead of just regular milk, and that's it. Just because I found that this makes it really creamy, and like they say, stick to your ribs kind of thing. So I'm gonna get these biscuits in the oven a while on the sheet there, and then we'll get started on the sausage gravy. Alrighty, now that our biscuits are in the oven, we're gonna take our sausage here. This is just regular because I don't like it spicy. I think the sausage, when they make it spicy, they like really make it spicy. So this one here, I'm going to get all these pieces out because, hey, we paid for it, right? So we got to use it up. Don't want to just throw it away. I may always make sure I get the last little pieces out of there. Okay. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to brown that sausage, and I'll bring you back when the sausage is all browned up. Alrighty guys, so the sausage is browned here, and you will notice with some sausages that there's more fat and you get a little more grease out of it. This one's got a little bit in there, but you're going to mix the flour, and you want the grease and the flour to be enough in there so you don't overload it and then it doesn't thicken right. So I do it even with a fat one, is I use bacon up here, which is basically, you know, bacon lard or bacon grease, and I'll put a tablespoon or two of that in there, and just to give it a step up flavor. Also, that flour then has something to mix with to make the gravy. So I mix bacon grease on everything I can because the flavor, you know, it's bacon. Come on, guys. So we're gonna melt this down, and then when it's all melted, we're gonna then add our flour. So this will take a few seconds to melt down, and then we'll be right back. Alrighty. So now that's all melted and mixed around in there. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put, for my recipe, I always do 1 heaping tablespoon of flour for every cup of liquid. So Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm going to use 3 cups of milk and 1 can of evaporated milk. So now what we're going to do, this is on medium heat right now. Just want to let everybody know we're on medium heat. And we're going to stir this around until we get all the sausage coated and all of the flour mixed in. Get it all mixed around. I even got some here on my spoon I'm trying to get off. You're gonna have little lumps here and there. That's okay. I just want it to get mixed in and all the nooks and crannies. Okay. So now we're gonna add our milk. Ah, I forgot to open the evaporated milk. Hold on 1 second here. I gotta get my can opener here. Let's see here. I can just do it this way. And so we're gonna add the evaporated milk. And while that's going in, because I didn't make the hole big enough, we're gonna add our 3 cups of milk. Of course, I don't have a regular can opener, so I had to use a punch. Put this in. It's going to take me a second here to get it all out, which is... By the next recipe that I need a can to use like this, I will have a can opener. I have bottle openers, which seems to be anybody... You don't need a can opener anymore, which is crazy. So, as soon as I get this last little bit out, it's almost empty. Of course, it's going to fight me right to the end. All right, I can feel it now. It's getting empty. All right. Okay, she's now all empty. We're gonna give it a stir. We're gonna keep stirring this, and we're gonna turn the heat up on medium-high because we're gonna get this to start to boil. And then when it starts to boil, we're going to turn it down to simmer until it thickens up. I'm going to put my flour away. All right, this is probably going to take a few minutes to start to boil, so we'll be right back. Alrighty. So now it's starting to come up to a boil here. And you can see that it's starting to get a little thicker. And when you're first doing this, you'll see this yellow gather on the top. That's all the grease and stuff from the sausage, and you'll know as you start to get done because the yellow will still start to mix in with what you're stirring, and it won't be as yellow, and it'll start to disappear as it mixes in and starts to get thicker. So we're going to stir this around. Now when this is about at the consistency you want, not quite at there, with a cast iron pan, shut it off right then. Take it away from the heat right then, because your cast iron pan is so hot that it's going to keep on cooking. And I run into that a lot when I'm cooking my daughters. She'll have it where she wants it, and then all of a sudden it starts to get too thick, and that's what happens. Now if it gets too thick, you can add some milk to it and get it to thin back down. But we try to do it here all at one time so we don't have to do that. So you can see now that yellow that was all on the top, it's starting not to be as much there because it's starting to mix in with the flour, which means the gravy is thickening up. And you want to stir this every like 15 seconds or so because you don't want it to stick on the bottom, especially again with a cast iron pan. As you can see, it's starting to boil around here. And remember, when you shut this off, it's going to still continue to thicken up as it cools, because that, you know, everybody knows what gravy does. So at this point here, we're going to stir it until we get to the consistency we want. Everybody has their own preference. You would just stir it to whatever consistency you want to have for yourself. If you want it thicker, you can go longer. If you want it thinner, you can shut it off now. But I'm going to go a little further here, and then when it's done, I'm going to add my salt and pepper, and then we'll dish it out in some biscuits. This is coming up to a nice consistency right here. So I'm gonna continue cooking, and then when I put the salt and pepper and put on the biscuits, I'll be bringing you back. All right, so real quick here, I wanted to show you I got to my consistency. It's almost to the point where I want to serve it. So I shut the heat off. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper now to it. Thank my sister for these salt and pepper shakers here. I use them all the time. And we're going to give it a stir. Get it all mixed around, and then we're going to let it sit for like 5 minutes or so to finish that final thickening. And then we'll be serving it. Okay, guys. We'll be right back. All right. Man, this looks really good. And again, you can leave it go until your consistency, what you want for the gravy to be. As you can see, this is like perfect for me. It's hanging on like it's supposed to. You can make this as really thick that it's like paste. I don't suggest that, but excuse me. People sometimes like that. So again, I didn't make the biscuits this time. These are store-bought, frozen. So, and you can use the can. A lot of people use the can. So, wow, I love sausage gravy and biscuits. It's when you make country fried steak, and you have sausage gravy to put over the top, that makes it the best. The Pioneer gravy or the pepper gravy is good, but I'd rather have sausage gravy over top of the country fried steak. But this is good as well. Normally when I could eat more, I'd have a couple eggs on here, but my smoke detector's going off. Oven's setting off. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. This has turned out really good. We'll leave the recipe at the end. Please hit the like and subscribe and help me keep the channel going. Thank you.